If you don't know who I am, my name's Sean Perham. I'm a comedian, actor, musician, currently on tour with the show Stomp. And this is week 5 of the French vlog. We're in Marseille, got a little bit of time off. We've got rehearsal videos. We've got exploring the beautiful city of Marseille, my favorite city that we were in our time in France. Also get to see the south of France, Canes, we're in an Airbnb, Nicks and Six, Star Wipe, or any kind of wipe.
Yeah, work, yes, yeah.
I've been waiting for this episode for quite some time. Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite city in France during my time, Marseille. A coastal city that was indescribably beautiful everywhere you went, felt like a major metropolis, and again, something about coastal cities for me just feel a little bit different. There's a little bit more energy and more liveliness, and I'm fortunate enough that I'm traveling with a group that has been to many of these cities before. So when we were in Marseille, we had 3 days off, and we went out and we had ourselves a time. Jamie's got something to say.
Sorry, Sean, excuse me, can I just, sorry, can I just get my beer out of the bag? Thank you, mate.
If you missed the last episode, we were in the thick of our tour. It was 2 days in 2 small towns, which is basically the equivalent of a show or 2 travel day, a show or 2 travel day. So jam-packed, really hard to relax during, but now that we have some time off in Marseille, we went out. And then I also want to show this clip of our good friend Reese doing a magic trick for Phil, and he loses his mind because he actually nailed it.
I have a toddler picture. I don't have a
Jack of Diamonds.
I've got a few other pictures.
Oh, okay.
I would love to see. Let's all pull up.
Looking like a little
Working with Reese has proven to me that magic is not sleight of hand, it's just magic. People go to Hogwarts and learn magic, and Reese is one of those people. Second day off in Marseille, me and Carrie got together, my buddy from the US, and we decided to go see some of the sights in Marseille. And again, having 3 days off after a pretty intense week of work was such a blessing. Just taking some time to recuperate in between things. I think that's just as important as taking your job seriously. Is also when you're on the road as a performer, is taking those times to take advantage of what a unique job you have. There's no reason to do this, to be away from your family, have a totally unstable life if you're not going to take advantage of these moments. This is a bus trip about 45 minutes from downtown Marseille, where our hotel was, up to the top of Marseille at one of the most highly recommended sites in Marseille, which is Basilica Notre-Dame de la Garde, locally known as La Bonne Mère, the Good Mother. It is a 19th century Catholic basilica. You could see it from everywhere. There's actually a golden statue that I think I have a video of later on. It's the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus that you could see from every single point in Marseille. And when I tell you, this was an incredible experience to be here. Every way you looked from this mountaintop was gorgeous, and you could kind of see why so many European cities at the highest most point has some sort of basilica, some sort of cathedral, because you could see the entire city. I think I mentioned it earlier, and you'll see when we get to Paris. We actually stayed in Montmartre, which is a similar area. There was always some sort of site at the highest most peak in the cities, certainly in Paris, but I've noticed that in Europe. It's the easiest thing to go sightsee. If you only have 1 day in these cities, go look up, see where the highest point is, and find your way there, because every direction we looked was a unbelievable sight. I mean, even just looking at this now, it's breathtaking how amazing this was. Right here, we didn't have time to stop at it, but this is another cathedral, Cathédrale des Maljol. French is really hard to pronounce. I'm trying to get these names right. After, took a walk downtown. Carrie went back, and I heard from Josh and Jamie and Sarah that they were at a little ramen spot. Swung by. As much as I stress taking your job seriously and doing the work, these are the moments that you will remember over anything else. This is downtown Marseille, where I didn't even get videos all that much. It was an enrapturing place, and then this is just in the hotel lobby with some of the crew playing pool. And again, not every moment has to be an adventure, but these are the moments that you will remember. Look at that weird bear in the background. That's like this hotel's mascot. It was quite strange.
Why is this room so big? I don't know why it's so big, but
So much space. So we're here in Marseille. I think this might be my favorite city we've been to so far in France. Been outside, 3 days off, that was nice. Took a little bit of time to relax. Went out, got some videos. Tomorrow, we start shows. I won't be in the first show, but I'm in 3 after that. And this will be the first time that I'm just doing the 3 roles. So I'm gonna be doing Potato Head, Sarge, Ringo, in that order. So maybe I'll try to capture a little bit of that, what that's like swinging in between roles. It's a term we use for when you're not doing the same role, you're swinging, you're doing multiple roles, have to remember multiple numbers, multiple tracks, blah, 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 blah. We're going to the theater. Marseille's been awesome. Out here on tour. I think I'm also gonna be running some social media for Stomp now. So look, we're already cooking on it, baby. We're already doing a vlog, you know what I'm saying? Good night, day, whatever. Le Silo, the theater in Marseille. We were in for a week. This video doesn't really do justice to how massive this theater was. It was so deep, and there were rows above the row that you saw back there. But yeah, a classic sound check vibe today. I wasn't in the show, so I was able to capture a lot more content than I normally do. This theater was a little bit boomy, a little bit more bassy, but at the same time flat. It's hard to describe, but sometimes in our show, it's really ringy, but not very deep. So it's almost like surfacey with a lot of reverb. You kind of hear it here. With so many days off, we try to treat it as a refresh, you know, being out for this long on the road, looking about halfway done with 3 months of touring, it becomes difficult to keep that energy. It's required of us as performers to bring our best selves onto stage. And I'm not saying that people that work in an office have it any less difficult, but there's a different difficulty to what we do. We are on the minute we get on that stage, the minute we leave. There is really no version of the show, especially a show like this that is so physically intense, where we can quote unquote phone it in. We have to be on, and when you're emotionally and physically drained, it's kind of hard to do. So we take those moments off and really, whether it's discussed openly or not through the cast, use it as a little bit of a reset. Like, okay, we did our thing, we went out there, we had fun, we reset, let's get back on that stage and do the best job that we could do for an audience that paid a lot of money to see us do our thing. Let's do a check-in, folks. This is week 5 of a 3-month tour. Been a long one. Shows are good. We're doing work. We're showing up for work. We're the fuck was that? But we're doing work. We're showing up for work. It's been amazing being all over France. We have been to 7 cities now, and we're not even at Paris, which is going to be a full like 6-week, 7-week sit down, which is very, very exciting. I think even more. No, 7 weeks. Been doing a lot of work. I've actually been spending most of this time editing the Japan blog, just seeing what I liked and what I disliked. It was always want to start with gratitude. It is amazing to be doing this as a living. I am all over the world, all over my own country, the United States of America, performing for people. And Stomp isn't the only thing I do. I also do a job called Bingo Loco. Maybe I'll give you guys a little bit of insight into when I'm home. Very grateful, and I think that's a good thing to lead with in your life is gratitude, especially when it comes to performance. A lot of us take our passion and we make it our job, and that's a hard thing to do. Being something that you only imagine doing for work is now the thing that you do that makes you money is sometimes a hurdle because you used to do it just for fun, and now you kind of have to approach it a different way. I'm wearing Stomp t-shirts 24/7. I'm in a huge hotel in Marseille. I'm living the dream. Got a show today, 2 shows tomorrow. I took over the social media for Stomp. Check it out, at Stomp Worldwide, even if at this point I might not be in control of it. Don't worry about it. Go watch the stuff. A little walk from the hotel down to the theater. Luckily in Marseille, it was about a 5-minute walk just through this little pavilion. Really, really easy, quick trip down to the theater. And this is another thing. Every city's setup is different. Every theater and its proximity to the hotel is different. So you kind of got to be prepared for all of this changing stuff. It doesn't just mean that like your time zone's changing or where you're at is changing. Your daily schedule is changing. A good old-fashioned pre-show run of the harder numbers to do, paint cans, a little bit of hands and feet, but you could feel it when we came into this rehearsal, and that's something that I haven't really spoken about yet, is sometimes You get so comfortable at a job that you just start to feel when things are clicking, and we could feel it before the show that things were exactly where they needed to be. I think it was our few days off. I think it's how much we all loved Marseille, and here's an example of how hot we were clicking. First try right here. Big Bills win. We love that. Done in Marseille. What a great town. Probably the best city we've been in. Paris. Guys, if you travel, number one tip I have for you, get one day by yourself. If you're with a significant other, you gotta do that. With a group, get a day, or at least like a couple of hours by yourself. The amount of stuff you could see, just going on your own mission, doing whatever you want, cutting down the things you want. Gets all that out of the way so that when you go out with your friends or your castmates or whatever, it's all the same. But it's time to party, baby. We got a little house set up. I'm not gonna film a lot, maybe a little bit. It's been great. Let's do a little section now called Tour Tips. Tour tip number 1. Manage your bag space. Know when your flights are. If you're on a bus, you ain't gotta worry about weight. Get some packing cubes. Pack your bag a couple times. Get on top of it. All right, love you, bye. 2.5 hours from Marseille to Antibes, and the energy on the bus was palpable. We had set up an Airbnb in Antibes that we had no business being in. It was too nice for us to be there, and you could feel it on this bus ride. We were getting there, we were dropping our bags, and we were going straight there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cannes, south of France, exactly where that movie festival happens. It was directly next to Antibes. It was off season. We got this Airbnb for so cheap, and it was just exactly what we needed at this point in the tour. It is about exactly halfway through the tour, and we needed a break. I know we had some days off in Marseille, but we were going right to shows. We needed something outside of the hotel rooms, outside of the city, and this was the perfect setup. And this is also a moment where, as a cast, we grew a lot closer. Like I said, a lot of the folks out here have a built-in history that I don't with them just yet. I was coming out to Europe, kind of new from the US, so this was a great bonding experience.
This is not me, it's just camera. Here we are in the beautiful city of Antibes. Is that where we are? It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Here's the thing, right? What if you don't realize you're in the good old days? Whereas you're living. All right.
We're on the second bottle.
Balopini.
You might be able to recognize this, but this is day 2 of 3 days at this Airbnb. We were all kind of trying to recuperate from that first day because we went hard in the paint. But yeah, definitely a very cool moment as a newer cast bonding. Okay, Jose, tell the people. Top 10, Jose. Top 5 things Jose says.
Like you mean like give me 3 days? It's nothing worse to be... There is something worse to be late. That is to be soon.
To be soon, and then I forget.
That's 3.
If you'd be so kind to indulge me for just a second, I want to get off of talking about this being a job and talking about just something in life that has served me very well. That's the experiences you have with the people around you are so much more important than the things that you'll achieve in your life, because I think those are the real metrics of how fulfilling your life has been. I am very grateful for the opportunities I've had as a professional, traveling the world, doing what I do, but I think that has all just been an aid for what I ultimately was looking for in life, which was to make connections with people, not just in my circle, but all over the world. And this job has provided that, but the things I cherish most are these connections I have with friends now across the globe and experiences and memories I have across the world. I mean, 18-year-old Sean having a absolute ball in the south of France while on tour with the show. He wouldn't believe you if you told him that's what he achieved. He was struggling to figure out his path, and he was struggling to figure out who he was. And, you know, I think those are still things that will always be a work in progress. But now, at this point in my life, I not only know who I am, but I know what I want to do. And what I want to do is live my life in a way that I'd be proud of.
Wisdom. Where's the wisdom? Listen, always stay true to yourself. Don't try to be like anybody else. They don't even know who they are. How are you going to be them? Be you.
Another. Okay, when you are like totally drunk, like at 7 p.m., it's a bad idea to do shots. Don't do shots. You're totally drunk at 7 p.m. Just drink water, eat something, and relax.